100 years ago, woodworkers didn't have YouTube. They didn't have laser levels. They didn't have cordless drills. And they definitely didn't have fancy woodworking gadgets. Yet somehow, they built furniture that's still standing today. So that got me thinking. Were old woodworking tricks actually better than the modern methods we use today? Or were they simply doing the best they could with the tools they had? Today, I'm putting several ** 100-year-old woodworking tricks * to the test. Some of these techniques were passed down through generations. Others came straight from vintage woodworking books published over a century ago. I'm going to recreate them, test them, and compare them with modern woodworking methods. By the end of this video, we'll find out which old-school tricks still deserve a place in today's workshop, and which ones should probably stay in the history books. And trust me, one of these ancient techniques completely shocked me. The first trick involved marking wood. Today, most of us grab a pencil without even thinking. But traditional woodworkers often used a marking knife instead. The idea was simple. Instead of drawing a thick line, the knife creates an incredibly precise cut in the wood fibers. At first, it felt slower, less convenient. But once I started making joinery, I immediately understood why they preferred it. The saw naturally followed the knife line. The cuts became cleaner, and accuracy improved almost instantly. Honestly, this wasn't just an old trick. It was a genuinely useful upgrade. Next came something I thought would be completely outdated: moistening wood fibers before planing. According to several old woodworking manuals, slightly dampening difficult grain helped produce smoother cuts. I'll admit, I was skeptical. It sounded like one of those myths that's been repeated for generations. So I tested it. One board dry. One board lightly dampened. Same hand plane. Same blade. Same wood. The results? Much closer than I expected. On difficult grain, the dampened board actually reduced tear out. Not dramatically, but enough to notice. That's two ancient tricks, and both were already proving surprisingly practical. Then we moved to sharpening. Modern woodworkers have diamond stones, precision guides, and countless sharpening systems. Traditional woodworkers? Many relied on incredibly simple methods. Some even finished by stropping on leather. Would an old sharpening method still compete with modern systems? After sharpening two identical chisels, I put them to work. One sharpened the modern way. One sharpened using a century-old technique. The difference wasn't what I expected. One edge lasted noticeably longer. The other felt sharper immediately. Neither method completely dominated, but each had strengths that made me rethink how I sharpened my own tools. By this point, I was beginning to realize something. Many old woodworking tricks weren't replaced because they stopped working. They were replaced because modern tools made them faster. Not necessarily better. Then came the trick I was most excited to test. An old joinery technique that many furniture makers once swore by. If it worked as well as the books claimed, it might actually change how I build future projects. Or, it could turn into the biggest disappointment of the entire experiment.